just figured I'd show you guys the weirdest effect yet. So all I did was put this battery up here on a hollow PVC pipe, and I connected to the positive terminal of the battery. Goes through a full bridge rectifier AC side. Other AC side goes to the positive of the supercap. And somehow the battery, the plates in the battery, act as an antenna, and we have an output here. So we have an output of 64 milliamps at like 67 milliamps at 52 to 53 volts. And this light is being run from the receiver coils. I wanted to see if the light dims at all when I short circuit the power from that wireless circuit, which is just from the plate, one plate of the battery, the positive, to the positive connection of the supercap, and it goes through a bridge rectifier in the center. And so far nothing dims. The system is in high power mode, and look at this when I short it out. When I go to current mode, the bulb gets brighter and the system becomes more efficient. Look at that. The bulb will get brighter. Hopefully you can see that showing on the video. I'll zoom in on that and show you that effect. Shorted, not shorted, shorted, not shorted, shorted, not shorted, shorted. So anyway, that concludes that part of the test. I'll disconnect this bulb and I'll make it so the system recharges itself again. So this bulb is disconnected. I will connect the solar charge controller back up, and we will watch the system begin to recharge itself. So I'm just going to connect this to here, and it will begin to recharge itself. Right there, boom, instantly back at 13.2. And it's consuming 26 watts, 73 volts. Once you crank the system to a high enough power level, it will be very powerful. And you can see where this bridge rectifier goes. It connects up to just the positive terminal of the battery, and the other end goes to the positive connection on the board, which connects to the supercap. And we have a real output. We duplicated our output. We have 61 volts. Oh no, 61 milliamps at 52 volts. I'm going to remove the meter now so you can clearly see what's going on. And I haven't ever once recharged this system since I made it. The system recharges itself. So hopefully you can clearly see where this circuit goes. There's just a capacitor in series there, which is a blocking device when I connect back to the positive of the supercap. So hopefully you can see that entire circuit. The battery is acting as a wireless receiver, and we go from the positive of the battery to the positive connection of the supercap, which I just connected to on the DC board that controls the transmitter. Now I'll connect this fan output, and I have to be careful because this thing's going to take off. And keep in mind, I can do this while the system still recharges itself. System is still recharging itself. The radiant energy is somehow doing something within the plate of that battery. And of course the wireless energy is present very heavily as well now. Look at this. Even bringing it near that battery. Bringing it near the supercap. Touching it to this. And I can connect this output in parallel with the receivers and have even more power. And the system would charge quicker. If I were to move this closer, it would output more power. It's probably good right about there. I don't want to get it any closer. But the battery plate is acting as an antenna. I gotta be quiet, people are sleeping. So, system will not degrade its charge. Next, I will see what happens when I connect this output in parallel with the receivers. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna connect, well no, there's not enough room over there. I'll connect it here. Okay. So it should be charging even quicker now in theory. And yeah, we're locked at 13.2 now. That is the goofiest yet coolest thing I've ever seen. The battery is acting as an antenna. We're using one terminal connection of it. As you see, there could be no form of hidden wires or anything. I don't do that shit. I'm a real electrical researcher. It's one terminal of battery to bridge rectifier. Other side goes through a cap, which is a separator, and into the positive of the board, which is the super cap. So there we go. We're locked at a full charge. This system will not drain in power. So, we'll just stare at that for a bit. That's incredible. And I simplified the grounding too. As you'll see, I don't need to ground one of the coils anymore, the receivers. I simplified the grounding even further. That will be added in the PDF very soon. That's just crazy. So, we'll do a quick tour of everything. This is my toolbox. Nothing's under the desk. I get tired of people telling me that. We just have an earth ground connection. My DC power supply, not on, not being used in any way. This little supercat maintainer just lives up here, not on or connected in any way. The only power for this area is just that bar. Nothing is being utilized in this system. This is just my phone charger, which should just be right on the bed, yeah. That's just my phone charger, but we're not using any power from mains here at all. The system is completely self-sustaining. If we wanted, I could disconnect these, but I was doing experiments with Joel Legace's cap dump circuit. That's why my power supply was set back up. So, as you see, nothing is on here. In fact, I don't even have this connected. The things I do for videos. So, I'll actually even move this. Oh wait, I'm gonna hit the ground. Would I? Well, no, not if I go over it. So as you see, there's nothing. Ah, shit, I gotta plug my ground back in. Okay, ground connection's back in. So, as you see, we're still locked at 13.2. No degradation. And I bet the radiant energy isn't even in that battery being relayed. Yes, it is. Very interesting. It's so weird. That plate is collecting a lot of it on the battery. Ooh. So, system's in high power mode. Hasn't dropped a single charge. I'll turn this inverter on, which will give us 120 volt house power. I'll connect up my bulb, and I'll answer some questions in this video. Just gonna have to put you guys like this or something. Connect the bulb. Okay. The bulb is connected. Ah, look, the bulb is consuming 5.8 watts. Still, I'll shut the inverter off. It will recharge itself very quickly. The beauty of supercaps. So, what's occurring here is the supercaps run the transmitter. The receiver coils are a separate system. Depending on how you ground it is where you get the extra power. You ground it through a capacitor, which is a blocking device to avoid detuning, and it also gives you circuit isolation. And then you combine the outputs of multiple receivers in parallel through a bridge rectifier, right there. Your bridge rectifier goes on your L1 coil, and you might have to tune it with a special capacitor. And you can figure that out with an LCR meter and an online calculator. And we're locked, we're charged. And I'll run the load. Completely self-sustaining system. Very bright light. And the only thing is you can't run the load there for too long because it will drain the system and stop it from self-regenerating. We'll shut the load off. You can see the system recharge almost instantly. So I've really cracked down on that extra power effect from grounding. As you see, the inverter is just connected to my supercaps. Supercap bank is extremely lightweight. Very lightweight. Probably all 4 of these weigh half the weight of that battery. Battery is also acting as a wireless receiver. We're getting power from it from one terminal through a rectifier, through the capacitor, which is a blocking device, into the positive. And that's what we got. Turn this on. Do a backup shot. In fact, I don't even like having this here. I'll unplug it. It's just my extension cord that powers my this part of the workbench when I need it, but there's no form of mains over here. We're simply using an earth connection. Just an earth connection. There's no form of mains. Those are my socks and some other crap. System is completely self-sustaining. I've never once recharged it for about 9 days now. I'll shut the inverter off and bounce back to 13.2 almost instantly. 30 amp MPPT charge controller, very efficient. A lot of people want to know, do you need 4 supercaps to make this system? No, you can use just one. Or you can use a nickel metal hydride battery, NIMH. And you can use a Lifey PO4, the iron one. Those 2 batteries will work, confirmed by other people. But the supercap will just give you that really quick recharging. It's about 650 bucks worth of supercaps here. I got them from a Brazilian company. You have to have a commercial account to get them. They're not available to the public yet for about 4 or 5 years, unless you have a commercial research account, as I do. And I also have an account with Newark Electronics to get other components. So yeah, we can just see that. System instantly recharges itself. And we're in high power. Like, we're consuming, the transmitter is consuming almost 30 watts. At 73 volts, 0.37 amps. And we haven't lost a charge at all. I only have enough space for a 20-minute video on my phone. I have a phone with the largest amount of storage space, and it's almost all filled up with just research and videos and PDFs and data sheets on components. So I'll turn this on. I will shut the lights off in my room. System is completely self-sustaining. We still maintain impressive wireless power. It's like the higher you crank the power, the more efficient it becomes. And the further you're away from receiving that wireless power, the more you can separate cause from effect. The received power doesn't place a strain on the transmitter whenever it's properly tuned and grounded. So, 13.1, I wouldn't even be surprised if this never drained while running that load. I'll shut it off. Right back up to 13.2. As you see, and it will lock steady on 13.2 soon. Probably within a minute or two. That's still technically a full charge. Anything above 13 volts is a full charge. And there we go, we're locked at 13.2. Oop. Wants to. Okay, we're locked again. So that's the benefit of using the super cap. It's very rapid recharging. Again, there's our power consumption. $5 years of work to get it at this point. Do a quick EMF scan. See where all the power is accumulated. As you see, there's a massive amount of power within that battery. The plates are acting as a radiant energy receiver. Usually the EMF is off the charts. So I don't think this thing's working that accurately anymore. It was subject to very powerful fields. Locked at the charge. Impressive radiant energy. Try and quickly do one more test. Turn the inverter on, and I'm running out of space. I can only do a 20-minute, 43-second video on this phone. It's running out of storage. So, as you see, 13.1. I shut the load off. It's 13.2. Locked in. System is completely self-sustaining. So, that's that. I have to end the video soon. Special thank you to everyone who supports this work. If you want to, I forgot what I was going to say. I've been up for like 16 hours straight. But yeah, thank you to everyone who supports this work and the Patreon. This is real research and it's making great progress. And yeah, thank you everybody who supports it. It's we have a functioning device here. It's amazing. So again, thank you to everyone. And the PDF will be updated in heavy detail very, very soon. And thank you again, everybody. All links are in the description if you want to join the Patreon, if you want to get the PDF to replicate the system. And again, thank you everybody. Couldn't have done it without you guys. You're all amazing.